A royal scandal has erupted behind palace doors. Princess Anne, known for her composed and no-nonsense demeanor, has reportedly clashed with Queen Camilla in a fiery confrontation. The reason? Allegations that Camilla, now queen consort, has been leveraging the late Queen Elizabeth II's legacy for personal financial gain. This explosive feud has sent shockwaves through the royal family, threatening to shatter the fragile unity of the monarchy. What's the truth behind this royal drama? Let's unravel the full story. To understand the depth of this conflict, we need to rewind the clock to the days following Queen Elizabeth II's passing in September 2022. The late Queen's reign, spanning an unprecedented 70 years, symbolized duty, stability, and selfless service. Her legacy is cherished not only by the British public, but by the royal family itself. For Princess Anne, the Queen's only daughter, that legacy is sacred. Anne has always been one of the hardest-working royals, embodying her mother's ethos of service without fanfare. Enter Queen Camilla. As the wife of King Charles III, Camilla's journey into the royal family has been anything but smooth. From her controversial relationship with Charles to her gradual
After the
acceptance
explosive
by the
argument
public,
over Harry's
Camilla
birthday
has faced
plans,
decades of
insiders
scrutiny.
revealed that the rift
Yet,
between the
her elevation to queen consort marked a turning point, signaling her full integration into the monarchy. But with this
Princess Charlotte's
newfound
surprising
status came
reaction that
increased
left people
power
stunned.
and
What did the
allegedly
young royal do
temptation to
that
use
turned
it for
all
personal
eyes on her?
benefit. Rumors began swirling when reports surfaced that Camilla was involved in a series of high-profile projects tied to the late queen's name. These included luxury commemorative items, exclusive events, and partnerships with high-end brands. While such endeavors are not unusual for the royal family, insiders claim that Camilla's approach crossed a line. Sources close to the palace suggest that the profits from these ventures were disproportionately funneled toward causes and interests aligned with Camilla's personal agenda, rather than being distributed evenly among royal charities. For Princess Anne, this was an unforgivable betrayal. Anne has always championed the principle that the monarchy's resources and influence should serve the public good, not individual gain. When Anne discovered the extent of Camilla's alleged activities, she reportedly confronted her sister-in-law. In a heated exchange that left palace staff stunned, the confrontation allegedly took place during a private family meeting at Balmoral Castle. According to witnesses, Anne did not hold back her anger, accusing Camilla of tarnishing their mother's legacy and undermining the monarchy's reputation. Anne is said to have questioned Camilla's motives, demanding to know whether her actions were truly in the monarchy's best interest or merely a ploy to bolster her own image and wealth. Camilla, for her part, reportedly defended herself, insisting that her initiatives were intended to honor Queen Elizabeth's memory. She argued that the funds raised were being used for charitable purposes and that any perception of personal enrichment was a misunderstanding. However, Anne was not convinced. Those close to the Princess Royal describe her as deeply protective of her mother's legacy and unwilling to tolerate anything that might compromise its integrity. The feud between Anne and Camilla has not only created tension within the royal family, but has also sparked a public debate. Supporters of Anne applaud her for standing up for the monarchy's values and holding Camilla accountable. They argue that the royal family must remain above reproach, especially at a time when public trust in institutions is waning. On the other hand, Camilla's defenders point out that she has worked hard to rebuild her reputation and carve out a meaningful role within the royal family. They argue that her initiatives, while perhaps poorly executed, were well-intentioned and aimed at preserving the Queen's legacy in a modern and relatable way. This isn't the first time Anne has found herself at odds with other members of the royal family. Known for her blunt and straightforward nature, Anne has a history of speaking her mind, even when it ruffles feathers. Her unwavering commitment to duty and her mother's values have earned her respect, but have also made her a formidable figure within the palace. The timing of this feud is particularly delicate. King Charles has been striving to unite the family and establish a sense of stability during his reign. The monarchy has faced numerous challenges in recent years, from Prince Andrew's scandals to Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's departure, and public criticisms. The last thing Charles needs is another rift threatening to overshadow his efforts to modernize and streamline the institution. Yet, the conflict between Anne and Camilla highlights a deeper issue within the royal family, the tension between tradition and modernization. Anne represents the old guard, fiercely loyal to the principles instilled by Queen Elizabeth II. Camilla, on the other hand, embodies a more pragmatic approach, seeking to adapt the monarchy to contemporary expectations and opportunities. This clash of philosophies raises important questions about the future direction of the royal family. The public has also begun to scrutinize the royal finances more closely. The optics of luxury collaborations and exclusive events tied to the late Queen's name have not sat well with many, especially during a time of economic hardship for much of the UK. The monarchy's historical role as a unifying force is being tested as it becomes increasingly entangled in debates about wealth, privilege, and relevance in the modern era. Adding fuel to the fire are reports from insiders who claim that this feud has sparked a ripple effect across the royal household. Courtiers are reportedly divided, with some siding with Anne and others defending Camilla. This internal discord has made it increasingly difficult for King Charles to present a united front, something he's been adamant about maintaining as he navigates the early years of his reign. According to palace staff, even joint public appearances involving Anne and Camilla have become rare and tension-filled, with both women avoiding unnecessary interactions. Anne's supporters within the palace argue that her loyalty to the Queen's principles is what the monarchy desperately needs in these uncertain times. Her decades of tireless service have earned her the respect of not only the public, but also the royal staff. Many believe that Anne's steadfastness serves as a reminder of the monarchy's original purpose, to serve the people selflessly. Miniami Chuntit. The other side, Camilla's camp, argues that her efforts to modernize the monarchy are essential for its survival in an evolving world. They insist that her partnerships and initiatives, although controversial, are designed to maintain relevance and generate much-needed funds for charitable causes. Camilla's defenders also point out that she has consistently proven her dedication to her royal duties, often stepping in to represent the family during high-profile engagements. The feud has also drawn attention to how other members of the royal family perceive the situation. Prince William and Princess Catherine have reportedly tried to remain neutral, focusing instead on their own initiatives and responsibilities. However, insiders suggest that William privately shares some of Anne's concerns about the monarchy's integrity. His close relationship with his late grandmother has reportedly influenced his outlook, making him wary of any actions that could be seen as exploiting her legacy. Meanwhile, Prince Harry, now living in California with Meghan Markle, has reportedly been watching the drama unfold from afar. Harry's strained relationship with the royal family, coupled with his past criticisms of how the institution operates, has made him a wild card in this unfolding saga. Some speculate that he may address the feud in future interviews or projects, potentially adding another layer of complexity to an already fraught situation. For King Charles, the stakes couldn't be higher. As he works to establish his reign, the last thing he needs is a public perception of disunity within the family. The king has reportedly held private meetings with both Anne and Camilla in an attempt to mediate the situation. However, sources close to the palace indicate that finding common ground has been challenging, given the deeply personal nature of the dispute. What's particularly striking about this feud is how it reflects broader societal debates about wealth, privilege, and accountability. The royal family has long been a symbol of tradition, but it is increasingly under pressure to adapt to modern expectations. The Anne-Camilla conflict has become a microcosm of this struggle, forcing the monarchy to confront difficult questions about its role in the 21st century. As the story unfolds, it remains unclear how this feud will be resolved. Will Anne and Camilla find a way to reconcile their differences, or will this conflict deepen the divisions within the royal family? And what role will King Charles play in mediating this dispute? His ability to navigate this delicate situation could have far-reaching implications for his reign. Meanwhile, public interest in the royal family's internal dynamics shows no signs of waning. The media's coverage of this feud has only fueled speculation and debate, with commentators and royal watchers weighing in on who is in the right. For a monarchy that thrives on public support, managing this narrative will be crucial. Even the younger generation of royals could become embroiled in this drama. Prince William, as the next in line to the throne, may be forced to weigh in or take a more prominent role in shaping the public's perception of the family's unity. His approach, whether it aligns more with Anne's traditional values or Camilla's modern adaptability, could set the tone for the monarchy's future. The royal family's ability to project a united front has always been one of its greatest strengths. However, the fallout from this feud risks exposing cracks that could be exploited by critics. With Republican sentiments gaining traction in parts of the Commonwealth, the stakes could not be higher. The monarchy's survival may well depend on its capacity to evolve while staying true to the principles that have sustained it for centuries. But here's the real question. How will this clash between Anne and Camilla reshape the monarchy's future? Will it lead to lasting changes in how the royal family operates, or is it simply another chapter in the long history of royal drama? One thing is certain, this story is far from over. Stay tuned because the next revelation could change everything we thought we knew about the Windsor dynasty.